I was excited about hour number 2 today. Why? Because I have 2 musicians from California in the studio with me right now, Mason Lindahl and Pregnant, otherwise known as Dan Trudeau. Guys, welcome to the studio, and thanks for coming in today.
Thank you.
Hello.
Very cool. Picked up some Korean while in the country.
Yeah, nay.
All right, so let's talk about why you were here. You were here with the Supercolor Super Crew and did a few gigs in some different cities, right, for the Round Robin Halloween tour.
Yeah, Round Robin was just in Seoul. We played in Busan and Daegu, just as, normal performances at clubs. And
Very nice.
But Round Robin was amazing. So.
And for both of you, first time in Korea, right?
Yeah.
First time in Korea. It's great.
Nice. Now, was this your first time to tour or travel in Asia, or just first time in Korea?
For me, this is my first time on a plane. So
really?
Yeah. So that's what everybody does. They go, really?
Wow.
Yeah.
So how was the flight over?
It was good. It was amazing. Yeah, it was great.
Pretty lengthy, though,
it was
right?
a
Very
long plane ride, yeah.
So let's talk about, Mason, maybe we'll start with you and talk about the type of music that you play.
The type of music that I play, I don't know, it's pretty broad. Very, very different. Everything from a lot of guitar-type instrumental stuff, which I'll be doing today, to kind of like poppy folk songs, to some kind of darker, more downer, folky stuff.
So inspiration from all over then?
Yeah, definitely all over. I mean, I grew up on country music and stuff like that, but I got a lot more into jazz and more compositional music growing up and whatnot. So.
Originally from California?
Yeah. The middle of nowhere.
Interesting. California and country music are 2 words that don't seem to go together for me. But still, you grew up on
my
it.
family, a long line of country musicians, my dad and grandpa and whatnot. So.
Okay. Dan, I usually hate this question. I never ask a band about their name, but I do have to ask.
That's a question you got to ask.
I have to. Yeah. Pregnant is your performing name. Can you tell us why?
I think it just had... I thought about it for a long time. It just had to do with rite of passage for men. We don't actually have a rite of passage. Tried to think of it. And I thought, trying to come up with some kind of fusion for the name.
Okay.
The only people that naturally have a rite of passage are women, and they have the kid, so Pregnant.
Little jealousy there.
I'm jealous.
Now, you guys know each other. Do you perform with each other in California, or were you just invited together?
Yeah, we performed together a couple times in California. We've been friends for a little bit too.
Yeah. We record together sometimes. Don't play together. I live in San Francisco, and he lives in the mountains.
Now, let me read a little bit of a write-up about Dan. A hillbilly savant from the Sierra Nevada foothills, physically, Sacramento, musically, that makes schizophrenic electronica organic hybrids of multi-genre music using guitar, laptop, pedals, and tiddlywinks.
Tiddlywink.
First time I've heard tiddlywinks to describe music. I like it. Tiddlywinks of all sorts. Can you comment on that, please?
Can I comment on that?
On that whole thing that I just read out.
That's perfect.
It's accurate?
They got it. That's totally accurate.
Schizophrenic electronica. What does that sound like? I guess we'll find out a little bit later.
Yeah, can't explain that.
All right, fair enough. So let's get to some live music then, guys. Who's up first?
I guess me, huh?
Okay.
Mason.
Well, tell us a little bit, Mason, before you run away from the mic, about what you're going to play for us.
This is a song. It's an instrumental piece. Something I wrote a couple years ago. It's on. It's an acoustic performance on a record that came out in 2009 called Serrated Man Sound. It's called No Man.
Cool. We'll let you go over and get set up. I'll chat with Dan in the meantime. Dan, playing with Mason, do you guys, by the sounds of things, it's quite a different style of music between the two of you.
Absolutely, yeah.
Do you feed off of each other or take anything away from each other?
Yeah, absolutely. We come from a similar scene. There's a scene that ranges from like the Bay Area of California to the foothills where I'm at. Nevada City, Sacramento, just all these little areas have totally different kinds of music going on, but we all like kind of utilize each other's music for inspiration.
So it's not a competitive music scene there at all?
No. In some senses it is, but I would say people are much more friendly than competitive about their music in that area.
All right. Well, I think Mason is ready to go. Mason Lindahl live in the studio. Wow. Now, when you said that you grew up, I'm completely confused now because grew up on country music in California, and then there's this sort of now I'm no music expert by any stretch, but like a Spanish influence, a classical influence there, yeah.
Yeah, I love that stuff.
Yeah. Oh, the finger work was amazing to watch you do
thanks.
that. By the way,
Thank you.
Very cool.
Benitez de Plata is a great guitar player.
The write-up on Mason says, amazing guitar work, musically eclectic and powerful. This type of music is hard to find on the radio. Not anymore.
Yeah.
It was like listening to a wave of emotion. This is a review of your work, consisting of very high peaks and bursts of energy followed by serene guitar work. It's just the type of music that challenges the listener to experience rather than just hear. How do you feel when you read something like that or have a review like that?
Oh, that's kind of exactly what I want to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's many different ways to relate to people, lyrically, vocally, and if you can do it through composition or with melody or notes, I mean, that's a bit more challenging. So it's great. It makes me happy.
Very nice. All right. Well, Dan, I wanted to ask again about playing with Mason, and you mentioned the different styles of music that go all through the coast of California there. What other styles are we talking about? And do you get influence from all of those styles as well?
There's so much music going on there. It's all completely different. I feel more that people are inspired by where they're coming from emotionally with their stuff, as opposed to like instrumentally or their style. We more get the emotion out of each other's songs than what it is. Like, we're good guys. We're all like in touch with each other. We know what's going on in each other's lives. So it helps a lot to like. That's how we are inspired by each other.
The shows that you do in California, very different from what you experienced performing here in Korea, or was it somewhat similar?
Somewhat similar, but it was very, very different in the fact that so many people were interested because it's such a different place here that you only have K-pop, I hear, and hip-hop.
Right.
As far as anything weird that people can go out and listen to, people if they are stoked on that kind of stuff, they'll go out and see it, and they will be like amazed because they never get that. So that's what our experience has been like here. It's just been like lots of people that are either missing the States, or from the Korean perspective, people that are just like blown away because they don't ever like listen to anything.
Never have a chance to see it.
Right. Totally. Yeah.
What about for you, Mason? How was it?
Oh, it was great. I think that sometimes what I do, you could see a little bit more around here. I mean, possibly Daegu is amazing. The people there. I mean, Supercolor Super has been incredibly hospitable. So they've kind of made the experience really, really great. Everybody, the whole team, the whole network across Korea. So, and the shows were amazing. People loved it. So we loved it.
Nice. Mason, I understand that you have, well, I think both of you have a new album out, correct?
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. Mason, well, we're going to hear a song off of your CD. Is this off of your latest CD?
No. But it's off of one that came out a minute ago. What came out was a split, actually, between friends. That just came out, and that's somewhat what this tour is for.
A split between friends, meaning different tracks from different artists, all kind of a compilation?
It's actually a vinyl record. It's a double record. It's Zach Hill, who was just here. He's a drummer.
Insane drummer.
Yeah, Riley Moncrief, who's been here in the band called What's Up, and as Riley Moncrief, and plays guitar in a band called The Advantage. And then good friend Ellie Fortune, who's an amazing folk singer from Sacramento. So it's the four of us all combined.
All right. Well, tell us a little bit about the song that we are going to hear off of your previous CD.
Oh, this song is really old, actually. It came out on that record in 2009, but it's so it's recent for everybody else. But I wrote this like 5 years ago, living in Seattle.
Wrote it in Seattle 4 or 5 years ago, but didn't put it on an album until last year. Why so long?
It was I don't know. I just never I guess I was recording in Sacramento with a good friend Andy, and he liked it, and he was like, "Oh, let's do this one." So I did it.
Does that happen a lot for you, or artists in general? I wonder, where they'll write something and they'll perform it a few times and just we'll put that on the back burner, and maybe a few years later you'll deal with it.
For me, yeah.
That's kind of interesting.
That happens for you guys a lot. No, I don't write enough material to do that. But.
Well, we're going to be hearing some of Dan's music after the 3:30 break, but like I said, we have another song coming up from Mason Lindahl. This is off his previous CD. What was the title of that CD?
This is the title track, Serrated Man Sound.
Let's have a listen to that.
With a shoe and a glove, the last minute struggle, the distance and level, my loss, a reaction to quality time. So I mastered cages, locksmith's rough edges, escaped in the blink of an eye. A last minute struggle to toss past the fumble, my loss, the reaction to quality time. The way in times I've tried, the tumbleweeds catch my eye, my body waiting food, a batch of words I say for you. Ooh.
So, do you like art? art is okay. I like paintings, things that look like, things.
Like when a guy draws a tree and it looks like a tree?
Yeah.
Same. What about a photograph?
Photograph's a photograph. It's not really art. Unless it's cool, then it is, right? Isn't it?
Need help understanding art? Then get on down to Hongdae Free Market every Saturday between 1 and 6 until the end of November. Come and interact with the artists in person. Ask them questions about their work. Maybe you'll find something to liven up your home. Need more info? freemarket.or.kr. That's freemarket.or.kr. TBS EFM, your information station.
What do you know about Korea's international role?
Well, Korea is hosting the G20 summit soon as one of the G20 chairs. The country is keen to mediate differences between nations.
Come November 11th, we should have a better vision for the world economy.
Shared growth beyond crisis.
Rock into music, lock into 101.3 and feel the vibe. TBS EFM.
Just before we get back on topic with Daniel Trudeau, otherwise known as Pregnant, and Mason Lindahl. Am I pronouncing that, by the way? Is it Lindahl or Lindahl?
Lindahl, yeah.
Lindahl, okay. Glad I got it right. Before we continue on with the guys, I'll remind you probably of the last time of our daily mission and quiz that we have prepared for you today. Mission question, actually, I'll ask you guys as well. If you could heighten one of your 5 senses, what would it be and why?
Ghost sense.
The sixth sense.
Yeah.
Your ability to see dead people.
Yeah, my ghost sense.
Okay.
I was thinking about that because you guys asked it a few times.
Reason being?
Ghosts. You gotta see those guys sometimes. Yeah.
Okay, Mason?
I have no idea. I don't even think I know what the senses are.
That would be the first task then, learning what they are. Anyway, that's our mission question. Here's our quiz question. Feel free to answer it if you know the answer, guys. Where is your skin the least sensitive? Keep in mind, this is a family-friendly program. Any idea?
That I cannot even begin to think.
Well, stay tuned.
You can't see it.
The whole
You said
planet.
that, yeah.
Okay.
Lower back?
Oh, you got it right. There you go. So, well, it's not exactly the lower, it's the middle. Usually I save the quiz answer for the end of the show, but why not give it out right now? So if you haven't texted in the middle of your back, that is the answer to our quiz question. So text it in right now,
Nice.
pounder sharp 1013 on your cell phone. That'll cost you 51. You could leave that information at our homepage by logging on there, tbsefm.soul.kr, Steve Hatherly Show message board. Call them in, 02-778-1013, or visit me at twitter.com. Steve on Radio is my Twitter ID, and you can leave the information there as well. So let's talk about where you guys have gone musically. With so many influences on the west coast of the United States, Mason, you mentioned that you were doing music in Seattle before, which is one of the music hubs of the United States, or at least it used to be. I assume it still is.
Yeah, for specific things, Seattle's kind of more like a rock and roll kind of vibe there. I think in the U.S., right, it's like a little bit more like different cities, kind of different things more or less.
Vibes.
Different vibes, yeah, completely. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
Where have you guys gone? I mean, what's the evolution? I'll ask you, Dan, first. Where you were before musically, and where you are now, and perhaps where you're going in the future.
Yeah, I'm not like your everyday musician has been playing since they were like 5 years old. I started picking up music probably 6 years ago.
Is that really?
24 years old.
Wow.
'Cause it just sounded nice. It was awesome. It seemed like something that I wanted to like put a lot of time in. But yeah, I mean, I'm just happy to have put out like some records at this point. Having only played music for 6 years, and I kind of use some shortcuts. I'm not a talented musician like Mason. I use sampling, computer sampling, and I'll play a little guitar, and I just screw with any instrument that is around.
Anything that you like the sound of.
And I'll see if I can use it in a set. So that's the way I do it. It's
Interesting. And you have an album that just came out recently?
Yeah, it's called Regional Music. It's on lifesblood.org. It's a record label my friend Sam has started in Irvine, California. And he has a lot. It's actually the same record label that Mason put out his record on. And
that Split.
Yeah, the Split. And yeah, it's good. I'm stoked. I mean, I've done 3 albums so far, and
3 albums in 6 years.
yeah, 3 albums in 6 years.
So you must be constantly working on music.
Yeah, totally. I just had a kid too. So
congratulations.
So it's kind of wearing down a little bit.
Right.
But yeah, so it's fun. Yeah.
Nice. So tell us, you're going to do a live performance for us right now. What are our listeners going to hear?
The way I play music, it's not really songs. It's more movement, and there will be a song mixed into it. But it's gonna have like a lot of ambient kind of schizo hill. No, there's not gonna be any. I don't really know who wrote that, but that's kind of crazy.
Right.
We'll see. Let's listen. Let's use the words of music here.
All right. You can go over and set up. I'll chat with Mason in the meantime. Mason, how long? I mean, again, watching you work that guitar, the finger work is incredible. How long has it taken you to get to your level?
I don't really think that I'm that advanced, to be honest. But my dad, like I said, my dad and like my whole family, they're all musicians. So I've been around guitar my entire life. And, like, fiddled around with it when I was really little. Got super into it. It's like a young, 10 around there. And it's kind of frustrating because as a musician or any kind of artist, quote unquote, you're never really satisfied yourself. So if I get good at something, I always want to be better at the next thing, and I kind of forget. You know what I mean?
So it's never ending then.
Yeah, kind of. Because you ask the question, where do you see yourself going? And that's kind of an impossible question because you never know. Every new corner you turn, there's another road that leads you somewhere else.
So when you say another road that leads you somewhere else, do you mean like a different genre or a different maybe instrument or just something different that's already?
You never know.
Right.
I mean, that's being real. With anything, you never know.
Very nice. All right. Well, let's see if Dan's ready over there. Dan, how you doing? We good to go?
Yeah, we're gonna see if do we have everything up?
I think we're good. Yep, we're good on sound. Dan Trudeau, otherwise known as Pregnant.
Oh, you know what? I'm gonna need headphones.
Headphones? All right, no problem. Mason, you toss them to him.
Can you hear that, Mason?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is cool. I like it. It's like a jam session in someone's basement. It's awesome. I like it. All right, so as soon as Dan gets his headphones on, he's ready to take it away. Pregnant, do it.
Okay, here we go.
That was cool, man. And the coolest part, I feel bad because our listeners weren't able to see what was going on, but what was happening there was Dan was creating one sound, and then I'm guessing, correct me if I'm wrong, Dan, but you were looping it, and then picking up a new instrument, and then looping that, and then just layering the music there, weren't you?
Yeah.
That's cool. So how do you, I mean, obviously Mason, it's such a wonderful talent that he has, but it's also, and no disrespect, but it's a single sound that you're enjoying. But how do you pick and choose? How do you layer, I guess is my question.
That's where the tiddlywinks come in.
Oh,
man.
those are the tiddlywinks.
That's what I'm talking about. You just gotta have those tiddlywinks, bro.
That's the definition of tiddlywinks. I see. All right, so your tour here in Korea has concluded. You're going back to the States, back to California, both of you now.
Yeah, tomorrow, yeah.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm. Second time on an airplane then, right?
Yeah,
cool. And then what comes next?
Love and marriage after that.
Yeah?
Love and marriage for him. My life for me. Some recording. New record, hopefully.
Well, Dan talked about, Mason, the fact that, well, new baby, it's going to change things now, but before, constantly working on music. Is that something that's true for you as well?
Yeah, it's all I do. I live by myself in actually Oakland, not San Francisco.
Okay.
I just, live in a small apartment, play guitar all day. That's it.
Yeah.
So, and I play a lot. Tour and do that thing. So
in Oakland or San Francisco or LA, you mentioned that it's not really competitive and the community is very supportive of each other in California. But is it hard to book gigs, I wonder?
Yeah, maybe what I said wasn't so accurate because
okay.
I thought we were talking amongst friends, but there is there's a major blockage in like different genres of music, different people. Some people only go out to punk shows, or some people only go out to this. Some people only come out to that. But
I think it's you either play the game or you don't, and those who don't play the game support each other, and those who do.
By play the game,
Right.
You're talking about signing to a major record label?
Well, no. I mean, just like the politics of the social and all that whatnot. I mean, it takes a lot of energy and a certain type of person to do. To kind of climb social scenes and do that, because that's a lot of what music is, It's not like, oh, well, you're so great, I want you to play all the time.
So it's not just, remember, you're talking to a guy who's not in the California music scene or in the American music scene, so
a lot of favors and stuff like that, like, you book this for me, I'll do this, you help me out, I'll do this, or like, often it's like, I'm going to send in my digital press kit or have somebody or a manager or somebody send this into them and they'll check it out, but sometimes, it's not always as professional as that. And
so what you mean is, it's not, having a talent that's not good enough anymore.
No, not at all.
Wow.
You really have to be a businessman, totally. You have to be like full-on businessman to
you have to take
emails
care of
and
yourself
all,
is the best way to put it.
Look out for number one.
Yeah, you have to look out for yourself a lot.
So it's cutthroat then.
Semi-cutthroat, yeah. There's
I feel like we're on Oprah right now. I'm
like,
trying to lead you down that path to get the truth out of you.
Yeah, it's like basement Gmail meetings or something.
Interesting. I never would have thought that before, but it's really cool to hear about that. Well, we have another song coming up. This is going to be off of, Dan, this is off of your most recent album.
Yeah.
Okay, and can you tell us what it is?
It's a song called Whiff of Father, and it's actually about my daughter. I actually made a music video for it that I'm going to be premiering pretty soon, so maybe you guys will catch wind of that. Maybe I'll email you about it, but it's about my new daughter. It's about being a dad, pretty much. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
And for both of you, Mason, any website where our listeners can check out your music?
My website is just my name.com, so masonlindahl.com, but there's always stuff on MySpace and whatnot. That's the easiest way to go about it.
Okay, and what about for you, Dan?
For contact?
Yeah.
I have a website. It's www.danielispregnant.com, so that should be easy. That should be very easy.
Easy to remember, exactly. Yeah. Well, to both of you, Mason and Daniel, we'll certainly get that contact information up on our announcements boards in case our listeners are interested in checking out some of your music after you leave the studio. That's all the time we have for our chat and the music today. I thank you both for stopping by the studio, not only for the talk, but for the live music as well. It was cool to see.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Safe trip back to the States, guys.
Thank you.
Song break right now. When we come back, we will have our segment called What's Your Song, What's Your Story? Again, this is off Dan Trudeau, otherwise known as Pregnant's most recent album. It's about his new daughter. It's called Whiff of Father. Time now for our segment called What's Your Song, What's Your Story? I'll ask my producer if we do have our caller on the line. I got the thumbs up. Good afternoon, Isaac.
How's it going, Steve?
Good. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm great.
Isaac, did you send a text message yesterday? What was that? The same Isaac?
Yeah, it's the same one.
Okay, I forget the content of the text message, but I did remember the name. Yeah. Where are you from, Isaac?
I'm from New Zealand.
Oh, very nice. How long you been over here in Korea?
About 2.5 years.
Very good. Good. Enjoying yourself so far, I trust?
Yeah, not too bad.
Not too bad at all, is it, over here? What do you do for a living?
Teacher.
Yep.
Teaching English, yeah.
Very good. And what age are your students?
Adults.
Oh.
I'm past teaching the kids.
Past the kids. You've had that time, have you?
Yeah.
Yeah, can be a little bit draining from time to time, I suppose.
I got kids of my own now. So.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Nice.
Can't handle them at work and at home.
And at home, right. Yeah, all right. Well, let's get to it, Isaac. What is your song and what is your story?
My song's Posters by Jack Johnson.
Good tune.
And it has a lot to do with kind of why I'm here.
Okay.
Little town in the east coast of Australia called Bundaberg.
Okay.
It's where I met my wife, and who's Korean.
Yeah.
And yeah, there's a place there called Centro, which is pretty much the only place to be on the weekend.
All right.
And the guys there, they have the same band every week, and they play this song, and that's where I met my wife, so that's why I'm here, pretty much.
Look at you, Isaac, you romantic fellow.